I'm about to bring up Mario, but just sit where you are for just a moment. I spoke about this a little bit at the onset. A Trailblazer Award is given specifically, though, to someone who has, just as the name describes, has gone into an area and been the first to do so. So I already had shared that Mario had salvaged the Savoldi library. Mario shared with me a story one time that he used to get an annual Christmas card from Vincent McMahon, and the card would always say, "Merry Christmas, please sell me the tapes." And year after year he'd get the same card, "Merry Christmas, please sell me the tapes." But Mario never sold those tapes. And why are they important? Because now only in the modern era, when the ability for these professional wrestling matches from all around the world. Today there was an argument going on between Daniel and the Godfather about some very specific Undertaker matches back when he didn't have tattoos, and whether they existed, and it was great. But Daniel could start to recite with very poignant accuracy whether he was correct and he had the data because Mario Saboli saved those tapes. Mario Saboli saved those tapes. But don't just think of Mario as the trailblazer getting that recognition. The only reason he had those tapes was because he was there. He had to move the ring at Shea Stadium when Andre was going to be wrestling. When Bruno was going to go against Larry Zbyszko, he moved the ring 3 times before the match was held that night. Am I right, Mario? Every time he set it up, they wanted it moved. They wanted it all day long. So by the time the headline match came, he didn't care who was in the ring. He wanted that stupid match over. He moved that thing all day long. He's been up and down all over. Mercedes Solis was out wrestling in Texas until Mario Saboli said to the New York organization, "You gotta pick up this guy. You gotta pick him up. He's that good." And so, but he didn't do that for one person. He's done that for lots of people. So he may be getting his Trailblazer Award specific to the digitization of the Savoldi library and the fact that from the beginning he said that he wanted to benefit the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. And I'll wrap it up in 1 second because I'll say that when we started this organization, Mario, who I didn't know, called me up and said, "Seth, I want you to meet me in New Jersey." Okay, Mario gives me an address. It's Giant Stadium. Mario takes me to the top of a tower that's right next to Giant Stadium, and I'm at the very top floor looking out over all of Manhattan with the owners of the complex who run the entire, not just Giant Stadium, the mall next to it, Mall of America, whatever that's called, Liberty Mall, whatever. And Mario's trying to get me to move our organization into New Jersey. And I'm meeting with the heads of the top, the biggest of the brass. I said, "Mario, we're only certified to do business in New York, but thanks for the idea, it was great." But it made me realize, think big. Don't think small. So at that point, we didn't even have a building. We didn't have one artifact to put in the building, but Mario Saboldi taught me, think big. Now, I'm going to bring up help give the ring, but Tony Atlas, if you would come on up. And Tony, though, I want to make sure you also bring up Tito Santana at some point because I want both of them to speak on Mario's behalf. It's up to you guys, you can call it in the ring. But when you got the talent here, you tap into it. But that's how good this guy is. Who's going to go?
Tony can go first. Thank you, Tito. Well, this could be long. I'll go back with Mario, oh my goodness. Over 40 years, I've been knowing Mario. When I got stuck in Africa, couldn't find my way home, I called Mario. When anything went wrong in my life, I called Mario. When I needed money, I called Mario. When I needed work, I called Mario. And most of all, when I needed a friend, I called Mario. Mario and I, along with Tommy and his father, Angelo Savoldi, we go way back. And I can't think of many people on this earth that had did more for me and the wrestling business as Mario. He not only took me all over the United States, he took me to Europe, Africa, Saudi Arabia. I got him in trouble a couple of times, you know, but he protected. I got stuck in Africa. Who did I call? Mario. I got in trouble. I was in, I hope Mario don't mind me telling this story, but Mario and I, we was in the Philippines when Okino got shot at the airport. And me, you all know I'm not the brightest bulb, you know, well, you know that, Tito. If I had a brain, I'd fly backwards. They gave me a blood test one time, I stayed up all night to study for it. But I went out, but you know, American money is different than foreign money. So I went out one day, and I gave a guy 20 bucks. He gave me $100 with his money back. I said, wow, this is great. I give you $20, you give me $100. I said, oh, here's some more money. So he gave me so much money that I had shopping bags, carrying shopping bags. I'm not paying attention like I normally do of anything going on around me. So I go and knock on Mario's door. I got this two big old shopping bags of money. Mario, what are you doing here? Get in here, get in here, get in here. What's wrong, Mama? They just shot Okino at the airport and they're looking for the guy that did the assassination, and you're going to have a big bag of money. You're going to get all of us killed. So Tom and Mario grabbed the money from me and said, whatever you paid, I give it back to you. We started throwing money out the window. All the Philippine people, you look up at the hotel, see the money, because they grabbing the money. Now Mario is scared to death because he said, well, I hope they don't come and get Tony. But that's the type of situation that I have put Mario in. So, Mario, I love you, man. I can't think of anybody else that deserved this. I wish Angelo was here. When me and Saito got in a fight in the dressing room, one word fit Angelo Savoldi. Oh boy. There they go, oh boy. But they took good care of me. Right now, a couple of times, nobody wanted to use me. I was not always what I am now, unfortunately. And I got myself in some pretty bad situation, and not a promoter in the country would touch me, knock me for 10-foot pole. They said, Tony, he's a drug addict, he's this, he's that, he's temperamental, you can't trust him, he's undependable, body. Mario said, hey kid, you come on up here, I'll find you some work. And then he got me straightened out. I met a beautiful woman that married me. Mario stuck with me. He said, boy, if you ever leave this woman, I will whoop your ass. You stay with this woman. This is a good woman. We've been married for 35 years. Mario drove all the way from Pacific, New Jersey to Lewiston, Maine, picked me up, drove me down to the WWE wrestling office, walked into Vince McMahon's office and Vince, Tony is ready. You gotta help him. You gotta help him. I give you my word that he will do you good. He's okay. You gotta help him. I looked at Mario and said, how can you do this? Mario got me back with the WWE. Got me back into people trusting me and believing that I'm a jerk, but not that big of a jerk. So I love you, Mario, and I can't think of anybody more to deserve this award than you. And I'm gonna turn it over to another. When I first started this business, Klondike Bill told me, said, Tony, when you leave this business, if you have one friend, consider yourself lucky. I got Mario Saboli as a friend, Thomas Savoldi as a friend, Joseph Savoldi as a friend, And last and most definitely not least, over the last 40 years, the man standing beside me, Tito Santana.
Pretty hard to follow that. Tony is the man. We have been friends actually since 1977.
Yeah.
1970 in Atlanta, Georgia.
He was new in the business. I made him drive myself. He never forgot that either.
Well, a little short story since he brings that up. Tony bought a brand new 1977 Lincoln Continental, and he was so excited, he loaded up all our bags, and he was the main event in somewhere in South Carolina.
Yeah.
We got to the town. Everybody's bag made it except his. He left his right outside the room. But we're talking about Mario. I met Mario when I was in wrestling in Texas. The Funks had sold the company to Dick Murdoch and Blackjack Mulligan. And for some reason, we hit it off pretty quick. And Mario is the type of guy that goes out of his way to help you, and he doesn't expect anything in return.
Yeah, there you go.
And his father is the same way. Everybody in his family is the same way.
Yes, sir.
Well, he's the one that got me into New York. Unbeknown to me, Mario had spoken to Vince, and before you know it, I'm on my way to New York.
There you go.
The biggest break in my career is not who you are, it's who you know, and I believe that. I got to know Mario, and he felt enough about me to help me out.
Yeah.
Moving on, we come to New York, and Mario was my wife's boss. He had some record stores, and she used to work for him. He introduced me to my wife, who I've been married to for 43 years. And my wife said, if he's good enough for Mario's family, he's good enough for me. So, I gained her trust right away. But besides that, I don't know, a lot of families who've had a bigger impact in professional wrestling and who have had the knowledge that they have. The man started out as a referee, and he worked all his way up to owning all these tapes. He ran a successful company promoting wrestling all over the world. And the only reason he's not doing it is probably because he chooses not to do it anymore. But he was a smart man and continues to be a smart man. And I am so grateful that he has been part of my life, because without him, I came from a small town in South Texas to be wrestling in Madison Square Garden 3 years after I had my first match. I owe it all to Mario. And Mario, I respect you. I know all your family. I love you guys. And you deserve this award more than anybody else, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Arriba!
Gentlemen, stay right here. What do you say we present this gentleman with a Hall of Fame ring? Ladies and gentlemen, Mario Saboli.
I'm going to put this on, but I do have we received the same award. And this ring is going to be put right there. Guys, thanks for the bullshit. We go way back.
Yes, we do.
We go way back, and rest.
Hold the mic
Oh.
out, right up.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at this. What the world coming to?
Wrestling wouldn't be what it is today if it wasn't for guys like this. They made wrestling. It's not like that anymore. It's a whole new world out there, and Tito brought up a point, why aren't I still involved? It's because of that. It's because things changed. You've shown the footage on the tape here of all the old timers that were on that footage. I actually either drove in a car with 90% of them or met 90% of them. Because since I was a kid, my dad, we traveled all over the world. And we traveled together as a family. When he was in Oklahoma, we all went to Oklahoma. When he was in Texas, we all went to Texas. When he was in California, we went to California. That's how we lived. We had a home in New Jersey, but we only seen that maybe 2 or 3 months out of the year. Everything else was on the road. We traveled, we ate, and even when we were in the business in New York, how did we get in a place? We all drove together, didn't we?
That's right.
No more. That's all gone. And because of that, there's not this commodity anymore.
No.
It's gone. These guys don't even know the other guy. I mean, you might wrestle him one day, but you might not see him for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like that, correct?
That's right, yeah.
You know, but I just want to thank, there's some people I really want to thank. Of course, Tito and Tony, we're always friends. There's one guy I want to thank especially, Mike. Mike, where are you? Mike is the, Mike is,
Stand up. He is
don't worry, Mike, I know the feeling. Mike is the only guy you're going to text a question to, and before you text it, he's sending you the answer. I mean, he's unbelievable, and thank you, Mike. And, of course, Seth, thank you. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. And don't give up. Don't give up on wrestling. It's going to come back. You watch. It's going to come back. And I do. Actually, there's Seth, I'm calling you Seth now.
So rarely.
Daniel is in charge of my library. He handles everything. And there's roughly how many hours?
5,000 hours, about 2,000.
There's 5,000 hours that we have. And to me, that's 5,000 hours of gold.
Yeah.
And it'll always be available because I will never sell it. You know, it's mine, it's going to stay mine, because I, through Daniel, will be able to get it out to everybody else. And again, Seth, thank you. Thank you for this wonderful award, and like I said, it's going to go right next to my dad's.